Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video, and today we are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Avengers Infinity War Thor. This is part of the Cull Obsidian Build-A-Figure wave, but we have Thor here displayed in his front window box with the Infinity War logo down at the bottom, the Avengers logo at the top. We get some very cool artwork here of Thor on both sides. On the back we get a very cool product shot as well as all the other figures needed in this wave to build the Cull Obsidian Build-A-Figure. And at the top we have the read-up, when the state of the universe is thrown into chaos, Thor sets out to protect Earth and beyond. And down here at the bottom we do have the UPC code, so you can check with your local retailer to see if they have this in stock. But enough about that, let's get this open and take a look at Thor. And here is Thor out of his packaging and swooping in here to save the day. And yeah, definitely a very cool figure and a really big figure. I had to move the camera back a bit so I could get him completely in frame, and that was kind of surprised me actually at the scale of this guy. But really cool. I do wish a couple of things. We'll kind of get the closer looks here on the head sculpt, but I wish we had more expressive face or head sculpt for this guy, just because this calm look doesn't really do well for the poses that he would be in here with this representation, which this is basically towards the climactic battle at the end of Infinity War, and Thor was pretty much anything but calm during that fight. But there's definitely plenty of other things that are great about this figure, which we will take a better look at. With that being said, we're going to take a better look at his accessories, and then we will get a better look at the God of Thunder himself, Thor. And aside from the Build-A-Figure piece, the other accessory we get here is Stormbreaker, Thor's axe. And it's actually really cool what they did here. They gave us some wraparound lightning effects, which can be removed there. You can just slide them down. Technically, I suppose you could use these for something else if you wanted to. And we've been seeing a lot of these types of effects lately. They're just a flexible, translucent material. So nothing too crazy there, and it does just have the little wrap so you can go around. But looking at Stormbreaker here, we can see that we definitely get that feeling of, in this case, Groot having just sort of grabbed a hold of it and wrapped on to create the handle. And the paint is actually pretty well done there, where you don't have a whole lot of bleed from the brown to the silver. And then you actually get some pretty intricate details there on the axe. You get some of these detail lines, things like that. So that is actually really cool that they took the time to detail it. We get some binding there. Looks like a number 2, I think, maybe. And then going down, and oh, focus, sorry. There we go. And we get a pretty cool effect there. The only thing I'm not a fan of is it only seems that Thor can hold it up here, which seems like it's just really unbalanced. I mean, maybe you wouldn't have him hold it all the way at the bottom, but just having him hold it there just seems kind of weird, but whatever. Let's go ahead now and take a better look, though, at Thor. And here is Thor up close, and you know, I had mentioned it, I think it was on my Ant-Man review. I mentioned that I really wish we got some more expressive faces out of these digital scans. They're all just very plain faces. I imagine the scan technology probably requires them to hold a certain pose for a little bit, but you know, it's kind of a bummer that this figure, based on one of the more climactic scenes of the movie, and we get just this blank, expressionless face. But it looks great. We can see the scar actually on the eye there. This is obviously the post eye patch version of Thor, and you can still see even some of the markings. Maybe it was this side, yeah, the haircut there where the hair hadn't quite gone in. Oh, it looks like he's got a little paint on his ear. Oh well. But man, this just looks awesome, and it is so well painted that I don't know, I'll give it a pass on the fact that it doesn't have the most expressive face, but I still think it would have been cool to get something. Going down the rest of the figure, so we have the big old clasps there holding his cape on, which this cape does not come off. It is on there, and yeah, which is okay. It is a very cool looking cape all the way down to his legs. One solid color with the exception of that black piece there, and does come up and over his shoulders. And then he's got that classic Thor look with the giant, I'll call them rivets, on there, and that just came out looking awesome. And then he's got the coverings over his arms. He's got his hand there, hand holding, or his axe holding hand. And he's got a same, I really wish we would have gotten a fisted hand, but oh well, I can deal with that, I suppose. And then going down the rest of the figure, we can see just looks like pants, you know, really well sculpted. His boots, we do actually get some gold dry brushing on them, which actually came out good, and it serves to give a good contrast to the rest of the figure, so I think that was great. But overall, this head sculpt definitely really makes it for this figure, and the size, holy cow. With that being said, let's actually take a look now at the scale and articulation on Thor. And taking a look at the scale on this Thor figure, and we can see he is standing at a very intimidating 7 inches tall, so towering over his Avengers counterparts. Taking a look at his articulation, so you got a head that can go all the way around, can look down actually pretty far, can look up pretty far as well. He does have arms that can go up, a little stiff there. There we go. So they can go up a little bit though. You do, of course, have full rotation there as well. You do have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then you do have a ankle hinge and ankle rotation. In lieu of a waist joint and the ab crunch, he does have this diaphragm joint, which gets him some decent back and forth, and then, of course, he can get full rotation on that. Legs that can come apart pretty far, can kick forward, not bad, kick backwards, a fair amount, but he is getting into the cape there. He does have a upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, and then of course he does have a ankle hinge with ankle pivot. And for a quick comparison, here is the entire Cull Obsidian wave standing together. You have the Infinity War, Thor and Black Widow, Ant-Man and Wasp, Cull Obsidian in the back, Malekith, and the Black Knight. And here is Thor standing next to the MCU Build-A-Figure Thanos, so you can recreate that final scene from Infinity War. And that about does it for this review, everyone. And yeah, really cool figure for sure. And I think they did a decent job. The size of Thor compared to the other MCU Avengers is just awesome. I mean, 7 inches tall, that equates to 7 feet tall in that scale. And you can get some pretty decent poses out of him. Like I said, the only thing I wish is maybe a more expressive face. You know, in this scene here where he's taking the axe to Thanos, he looks pretty bored at that, you know, at that activity. So that would be my only thing that I would like to start seeing in some of these MCU versions of the Unmasked Heroes. But again, that is it for this review, guys. If you like the review, please make sure to hit that like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the video. And of course, make sure to subscribe so that you can see all the other videos of all the other figures that I'm going to be reviewing. But with that being said, I just want to say thank you for watching my video and have a great day.